Hey, what's up everybody? In this video we will add some more options to our private note. So we'll add this button, show options, and which will have these options of self-destructing note, manual password, and email the user whenever note get destroyed. Alright, so first thing we'll add this password feature first. And to do that, let's say we have this password protected something like secret message, and we'll password protect it. That's 123 123 create note. All right, so now let's select the note and paste it. Oops, select link, copy it, and let's visit this link. It will ask us for the password, and let's enter some wrong password. Yeah, incorrect. 123, and then we can see the message. So we'll implement this functionality over here. So this is our site, and I have added this button. Let me show you. Let's open up VS Code. Okay, in task index, which is showing us that let's go to tasks. I'm sorry, notes.index. All right, so here we have this form, and we'll add one more button to show options, and this button will just toggle this new form, this form. So I've created that form over here. So I'll just construct one div and name it more options so that we can target it using JavaScript. We'll just toggle the visibility of this div using JS. So we'll target using this ID, and then we'll display it or we'll hide it. So we'll see how we do it in a moment. So first let me show you what fields we got. So inside this div we have one row with one column. So node self-destruct, and then we have a couple of options like 30 minutes, 1 hour, and these values, normal HTML stuff. And we have password field and confirmation password field. Similarly, we have email input field, and then reference name for the note. So we have these fields with name, email, and password. That's it. And we have this we have given more options toggle class to this button so that this will trigger the visibility of that div. So just here we have put our JS code. So we have selected the option toggle div and button and this div. Just we have selected those so that we can add the event listener. Click event listener on the button. So we are listening to the click event listener here, and then when someone clicks, we'll toggle the display. So first we get the style option, style display. We'll get the default style of that div. So by default I have made that display none, so more options div will be hidden by default. So I've added that CSS over here, and then whenever we click on that, first we get the style. I'm just console logging it so that I can see it. If style is blocked, then we'll make this none, and if otherwise we'll make the display block. All right, similarly we have to change the text of this show option, disable option. Let me show you. So by default it has got the show options text when I click disable option. So I'm just toggling the visibility of this div like so. Also I'll put this code on GitHub, you can study that. So with that we have all set with our form. We require only these fields for now, and now let's activate this password functionality. So we'll implement it a bit later on because it is slightly different. And first let's do the password feature first. So first thing, whenever we hit create node, we need to save this password to our database, right? So in order to handle that, we need to go to our controller. So first let's handle the save, yeah, the password save part. So let's go to the nodes controller, node controller. So our stored logic is inside store method over here. All right, so I've made a couple of changes. So in validate field, we just put this body, similarly this password, and this password is confirmed. So, and this is nullable, so null values are also allowed. So what this will validate for confirmation field, we have two field for password and password confirmation. And we have email validation, this is also nullable. Alpha dash, this name will allow us to insert alpha numeric character plus dash, this is also nullable. And destroy at string, and it is also nullable. All right, so these are all validation for all the fields that are present on the form. So only body field is required to create node. So this is the best way to do that, although you can do it in other way. So now let's ignore this part, and we'll handle this later on. And now we are just doing create and passing this validated data. So this will give us the array of all the validated fields, and then we are redirecting it to node share normal workflow. So this is the recommended way. We have to put validation for each field, and by seeing this we know what kind of data we are getting, and then we are only inserting the validated fields. So there is no chance of any extra field that get inserted on your database. Every field that you insert on your database, you need to validate. All right, so one plus, we need to add all these fields to fillable array over here, body, password, destroy at, email, name. All right, so and one more thing, this destroy at is datetime field, but in our form we have that destroy at as a string, right? So we need to convert this string into the datetime value, and in order to do that we need to intercept that. So suppose we say let's tighten this, validate it, we'll get, let me show you. So if you want to create node, it should say body field is required, and let's password 111 122, these two are not matching. Let's see, yeah, password confirmation does not match, so we need to match it 111 111, create node. All right, so we are getting this data where Diane dumping validated, so we are getting this data over here. All right, similarly let's go back. Suppose let's say I do 1 hour from now, some email. Suppose I enter some other field. So this is email. This in this field we need to enter the real email address, and we are not entering that. Let's see if that validation occurs or not. Yeah, email must be valid. And now if we hit again this display, all the fields old values are already all set. All right, so in order to do that, what we need to do is in our form we need to pass in the old value. What I mean by that is like so, this old email, old name as a value. So this will get the old input value that you entered before validation error occurs. So Laravel will store that value for you, and similarly you can put it here. So you need to add a bit logic here in order to do that in select field. Generally these select options are from, you can get them from backend, and you can use PHP to make that selected. So if you want to make something like this, if you want to preserve the selected value, if validation occurs, then you need to add selected. So this selected will make it selected, as you already know. And this logic should, we need to put like this logic: if old destroy at, if this old destroy at matches is equals to 30m, then we use ternary operator selected, otherwise empty. All right, so this thing, and here, sorry, we need to put it for every field and then pass in this kind of value. All right, so in our case we have just couple of select options, that's why we are doing this inline. Otherwise you need to put that in your controller and then pass it option here, and then use for each loop to loop through it and put it here. So this I will leave you as an exercise, you can do that. 1 hour and 7 hour. All right, okay, so we are getting all data in validated in array format in node controller, like so. And now destroy add is just let me see. Destroy add, suppose we say 1 hour from now and then try to create node. There we go, destroy add is string, but we need to save it as date time value in our database. So in order to do that, we are just checking if we have this destroy add field, and then we construct this time lookup table. So for 30-minute, I'm just adding 30-minute to the now carbon instance, and similarly adding 1 hour, 7 hour, and 30 days accordingly. So this is the lookup table, and then we get the destroy at date time. So in lookup table, if this request input is present in this lookup table, then give me that value, this value, otherwise null. And then we are overwriting the string that we get from form to real date time value, and then we are storing that into our database. All right, so that's how we save all of our data to database. So you can do it in couple of other ways. You can just put this on request class, you can do all these. So refactoring we'll do in other videos, but this code is totally fine. All right, so once it is done, we should be able to save this node. So now let's save this node with password and destroy in 1 day. All right, so options, okay, we need to put other fields. Okay, 7 days for now, manual password 123 123, 7 days. And we can put email field, let's put it email field. So we can do like this. Okay, this name field, let's check we have all field, like, yeah. So we can give this email so that it will be easier for, so this is good HTML. All right, okay, so this fake filler will do it right. So I will give password manually 1 hour from now. There we go. So let's create node. Okay, node created. Let's check our database. Let's open up database over here, refresh the database, secret node, password 123, and name, and we're saving this email, we're saving everything. like this. So all saving part is good. Okay, so once that is done, we are saving data correctly. Okay, next we need to display the password, enter password fields or enter password page. So that page will restrict user from visiting the actual notes page, notes show page. Okay, so for that we need to create another page called confirm password page. Let's go to our web.php and add that route. So for easy for ease, I have already added this route. So I've given it get route notes password and then note id will require that, and this will direct to show password form method inside node controller, and I've named it that. So this is the post route, just same as that. This will just validate if password is correct or not. So this will display the form, and this form will just point to this route, this post route. On this form submits data to here, and this will direct to validate password method inside node controller. So we can create one separate controller for these, like node password controller, and do that. That is a better way, but I'm doing it this way. Later on I can improve on it and show you the better way. All right, so let's go to nodes controller. For now it is totally fine, and inside show password form we're just displaying nodes.password and then passing the note. So let's go to this form. Very simple form, just simple form with the password place field, input field, and then submit note, which will submit to this route with note, and that route will validate. Password route is just validating if password is present, and if request password, which is coming from the form, is equals to the node password that is saved inside our database. So if these two are equal, we can do triple equal. Then we are setting the session, so node auth, and in that session variable we are storing node id and suffixing it with dash auth. And then after setting session we are redirecting user to nodes show page. All right, otherwise we are displaying, redirecting user to the previous page with error incorrect password. All right, user into baby. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, so in nodes.show we need to add restriction there as well. Otherwise, if someone just hit that from route, that will visit that nodes.show. So we need to restrict this route as well, node.show. So what we are checking here is if node password field is not empty, if that field got password, and then if that is so, and then also the session should match, right? So only this will not do our right logic, this won't be the right logic. So we are checking if this session variable got this value, this value should match the node id of this id, and then fixing it with auth. Yeah, you can just put in node id, and then we are redirecting user to nodes.password. So if this session variable doesn't match with that session variable, we are redirecting user to nodes.password field, so that user shouldn't get to view this. All right, so it will just catch the, so if this logic fails, we are just redirecting user back to nodes password. So hey, you should enter password in order to visit show page. All right, so this is the check, and now let's see this in action. Now copy this link. This link is password protected. Let's go here. I think let's enter wrong password, incorrect password. I think I put 111, not sure. 123. Yeah, so now after entering successful right password, I can see the note, secret note, and then note is also got deleted. So yeah, so everything is working, that password feature is working perfect. And now let's check one normal workflow without password. Let's see if that is working or not. See if we broke that feature or not. Without password, create note. Yeah, we can create note without password, and now paste that it in. Yeah, so we can see the note without password. All right, so once this is done, let's email the user whenever the notes get deleted. All right, so how do we do that? We need to create one mailable. All right, so since we got the email address and we got the reference name for the note, we can just send the email to this user with some custom email. So let's create a mailable class. So it's quite easy to create the mailable class. PHP artisan make mail and name it note destroy email. You can call it that, and then pass in markdown. I think that is the correct syntax. You can see help. Yeah, dash m or dash s markdown. So dash m equals to emails dot note destroyed. All right, something like this, and this will create the node destroyed dot blade file inside emails. So I've already run this command, so I have named it node destroyed email, same as that, node destroyed email. And inside resources views, it will create node destroyed dot blade. So whenever you execute command, you will get these two files, node destroyed dot email and blade. All right, so first off, let's go to our delete route so that we can trigger this email. Go to destroy route and let's just check if we have note email. We are storing that in variable, and we construct all the note data, and this data will require an email, so we are saving that in variable because we are going to delete it shortly. That's why after that we don't get access to this object once we delete that. And we have this data, we need to pass it to mail. So we are checking if note email is not empty, meaning if there is no, if we created note without email address, then we shouldn't send email, right? So that's why we're checking this, and then we're passing it to, we're sending email to this note email, and then we are newing up this mailable and passing in note data. So these data will require in our email template, and just returning this response. So now let's go to node destroyed email in this class. Let's open it up, and in this class we are accepting this note variable, this variable node data. So I'm making object of this array. From this array I made it object so that I can access using this arrow key. So I find it a bit easier than accessing the array element. That's why I do like this. And in this note, sorry, in this email, we're accepting that on constructor, we're initializing the property, and then we are, so if this is public, then this will be available inside node destroyed dot blade. So let's go into our email template. So this markdown template is generated by Laravel for you, and you need to make a couple of changes like node destroyed as a heading, and node with following detail has been destroyed. I'm just putting it node ID and node name. So if name is present, then we're displaying that. All right, so pretty simple. And once that is done, whenever node get deleted, we get email. You can see that in Laravel log. So I'm just saving the log here. So you can use mail trap or log file. All right, So let's go to .env and see. Let's mail driver. Where is mail driver? Here. Mail driver, either you can use log or smtp. So log, for log you can just see it in laravel.log file email. If you want to see visually, then you have to use some services like mailtrap. So let's first see the log. Let's go to new private node. Let's create one node with fake filler with this email, and let's say email node, and this password we don't know what it is. Let's copy it, or let's create without password. For now, after reading it, create node, this is an underscore name. Looks like this fake filler is setting some other thing like ref node. It's strange. Okay, some issue with our validation. Let's see what's the issue. First, let's evaluate in node controller if we missed anything. Email name alpha dash nullable. Alphanumeric and dashes are allowed. Let's go to nodes index. Alright, so issue here is with validation. So we have alpha dash, it doesn't allow the space. So if we want to put space here, so it won't allow like reference name own nodes. So this space, it will throw error, like say it only allows string, contain letter number, and so in order to deal with that, we can just do string. So this is also a string and nullable. So that should solve our issue. Go ahead and create another node. Let's fill it up with the fillable. Let's get rid of, I think we can save it, and then let's put it some name of node. Let's get rid of this password. Create node. There we go. Copy to clipboard, paste it, view it. Node has been deleted. Everything works fine. So now let's see if email has been sent or not. Let's go to Laravel log. There we go. We can see email, subject node destroyed email, all the HTML stuff, and yeah, node destroyed, node with following detail has been destroyed, this node ID and name of nodes, node name. So yeah, so email part is working. Alright, so that's it for this video. We will handle this self-destruct node after some time part. So this video is already long, so I'll handle it there. We'll learn about Laravel scheduling and cron jobs and all good stuff in next video. So I'll see you on another video. Bye.